Alright, hey folks, how's everybody doing this afternoon? Welcome to Practically Programming. We're going to take a look at some Golang today. I'm in the middle of writing a command line application to help kind of automate builds and releases of our other tools at work. And yeah, it's been a little while, and apparently I left my work directory a little bit dirty in terms of git commits. And I do not remember what I was working on last time, so I'm going to take a look at the diffs here, try to figure out what it was that I was doing. So looking at, let's see, run.go. Looks like I removed the drive run stuff. Yeah, that was for testing. Added a validation function that I don't remember writing. Yeah, looking for tags, okay. And that's it in the run function. And in root, let's see. Added some initial validation. Well, that's good. Right, added support for commit-ish values. Yeah. Yep, okay. So yeah, the idea is we should be able to run, you know, a command. Right now it's just the main Go function. And what we want to do is be able to provide a repository and a make target, or use the default build release make target, and a commit-ish string, and provide a tag, and that'll clone the repository, build using the make target, whatever release binary or artifact output there should be. Create a tag that we've provided, push that tag and the release up to the repository, and attach the artifacts. And I don't believe we're to the point of attaching the artifacts, but I think it's time to troubleshoot. Just make sure that we got the commit-ish stuff working. But just to remind myself where we are, we're going to go ahead and test it. So if you look, for example, we're using a test git repository. Let me see if I can pull my browser up here. That's all VS Code. There's a browser. Yeah, okay. I'm using this test repository. It's just a Go binary. Or sorry, a Go, like hello world application. That's all it is. It just prints hello world. And it's in my test Go repository, Go hello world. And we have a make file with a build release target. And that build release target builds the binary, runs a test, and I'm hoping to be able to provide that to the CLI, have it clone the repository, create a tag, build the release. Let's see how far we got. All right. So we've also got a config file, right? And this config file allows us to specify the repository we want to work with by default. So we can include this config file with a project somewhere in, as you know, a CI pipeline or something, and add some values so that we can make it easier to call on the command line. So I've already done that for the repository URL, my own private key, make target. I'm going to go ahead and hide VS Code for a second just to double check. Because I do have a client ID for OAuth that I don't want to share. Yeah, okay, so my make target is build_release in the config file, even though the default is build release. This is all one word. And that's a good way for me to test at least that my config file is working. So let's see, first of all, let's see what happens if I just run it. I should get an error. Alright, so I did not get the error that I wanted. It immediately cloned the repository to a temp directory, which is what I should be doing. But also, this tag string is required, and since I did not provide a tag, it should have bombed out. So let me see if I can fix that first of all. We'll do a little bug hunting today. How about that? So that would be in the root.go, I believe. And I think with Cobra there's a way to make something required. There's a branch tag. Yeah, so I should be binding that tag. So that looks like that's probably a bug. Let me go ahead and do that as well. Okay, well, actually, let's look at the Cobra docs. There's got to be a good way. Wrong browser. Let's see. There we go. All right, so we got Cobra. Let's see if we can figure out how to do a required argument. Required flags. Okay, so I need to add this here. Mark flag required or mark persistent flag required. Perfect. Easy enough. I'm certainly not doing that already, so let's go ahead and go back. Tag needs to be required. Oh, that's an old thing. Let's see, tag message was optional. Target is optional. Commit-ish as optional. Branch is optional. The repository URL is required. Yeah, okay. So I think that's all the things that are required at the moment. Let's try this again. Hopefully this will bomb out now, right? Excellent. Required flags repository URL. tag, not set. Except that the repository URL is in a config file. So is that just because we're parsing it too soon? I wonder if we can mark these elsewhere. Let's see. If I put this after the config parsing. Well, that should do it right there, right? Alright, well that's the init config. So, let's see if we parse it up here, I think. I don't suppose that would work at all. Yeah, how would it, right? We'll have to figure out how to do that. There's got to be a way to do parsing of the config file and mark persistent flag required. All right, so that's that's what practically programming is all about. We're just figuring out how stuff works, and we don't know all the answers yet. So, did I close the other browser session? Cobra mark required. Maybe this is helpful. Root command mark persistent flag required does not raise error. Has to do with string var. Yeah, that's not gonna. It's not gonna be it. Alright, flags are optional. If instead you wish to command to report, hang on a second. Okay. If instead you wish your command to report an error when the flag is not set, mark it as required, or for persistent flags. Yeah, we should have... Alright, let me try it with tag. Okay, cool. We're going to go ahead and... we got to change the editor. This is not working for me. How do I do this? Control X. I have not used Nano in a long time. Alright. Alright, let's see. So if we run this, it's going to say that there are required flags. Tag is required. I think it's because I removed the repository. You'll still hear me? Yeah, okay. Yeah. So I need to go back up, set the required flag for the repository. Alright, now let's see if I just give it the tag. Yeah, it doesn't like the repository URL, even though I have that in the config file. Alright, so that's something to come back to. We need to figure out how to force that, or allow that, right? If flag is required, should be read from config. Yeah. Cool. All right. So we can't fix that right now. We got to do some reading. But we can require the tag. That's important. All right. So let's see what happens. We're going to say we're going to create tag v o.1. We are, again, providing the repository from the config file, and I think this is going to fail, but we need to figure out why. So we do the cloning, it asks me for a tag message. Does some work behind the scenes. I should have done this with verbose turned on. Okay. And we get a message, failed building artifacts because the bin directory already exists and is a directory. And that might be coming from, I'm sorry, you can't see the code. Let me remove the browser. That's probably coming from the makefile. So let me go ahead and put the browser back up. From our repository, our test repository. Here. We have this makefile. It says go build and then gives it output path to the bin directory. And it should not have a bin directory. I think I've ignored that. So there's no bin directory in the repository. So why is it saying within our temp directory that the bin directory already exists? Why does it say that the bin directory already exists? Let's see. Hey, Dr. Phineas. Good to see you. How goes it? Doing a little programming today. Doing that practically programming stream again. Today we're building a CLI tool to try to help with automating building artifacts and creating releases in GitHub. So doing pretty good. I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear it. All right, so just got home from work. Nice. That's good to be done with the day, huh? I guess I'm technically done with work, but I'm doing this. I got another couple hours. This is for work, so I just happen to be streaming it. Something is failing on this build inside the temp directory. So at the moment, I believe I'm cleaning up that temp directory, so it's not helpful to go poking around, but let me see if I can find where I'm cleaning that up. Yeah, here we go. In editor, no, in run. Line 155. Alright. This is where we're temporarily cleaning this up. So let's try and run this again. This is gonna fail. Oh, it created the tag though, that's good to know. But the build fails because... Where are we doing this? Okay. Cloned in here, enumerating some objects. Bin directory already exists here. I wonder if that's... I wonder if I didn't change directories to there. No, the makefile's there. Let's go check it out. Let's go check it out. There's a bin directory. I should be able to go in there, right? So interesting. Oh, it's getting its name from the cloned directory. So something's failing further than that. I think the build is working. I bet this, if I did this, it's going to do the, yep, hello world. So that's correct. So we need to give it the actual output file name. So that's not my fault. That's, or it is my fault, but it's not my fault within this code. Let's, modify this makefile a little bit. All right. So I think that'll work. Oh wait, need to go back in there. Let's see if this works. Hey, now we have a good use for tags, right? Because we had a tag for O.1, right? Now we can have a tag for O.2 with our new fix. Alright, we're going to try to do this build again. O.2. Look at that. Okay, it's prompting me for my device activation code. Oh, okay. Well, that's a bug. But we can tweak that. So what it did was it opened up a new browser. Is this Firefox? This might be Chrome. I don't think you'll be able to see this. Let me see. I don't think Chrome displays with Golang. Yeah, no bueno. I can't capture the screen with Chrome. Can I capture the whole screen? Yeah, so you see it popped up this device activation. And it should have waited for me to fill out this device activation thing. But that means we're doing all right. That means we're doing all right. So let's go ahead and close the screen. Turn to. Oh, you didn't. Man, this transition I got to get used to. This is what I was pointing to. This device activation screen, which is nice. I think that worked pretty well. It's exactly what I was looking for. Sorry, I'm trying to open. I really should have these set for browsers and stuff. Okay. So we got the browser open. And I think this this repository has, yeah, look at that, new tags. We got the one from earlier, v0.1, v0.2, vtest. Those are the ones we were just building a few seconds ago. So perfect, perfect. So that's working, but perfectly, actually. So we can delete these tags. They are just temp tags anyway. So at least something that I wrote is working. Even if not all the way. Alright, so that pushed the release, and then it failed waiting for the OAuth authorization. So I'm going to have to test that out. But that's good. That means we got past the building. We took the tag annotation. We took the tag number. It's building using the current like main branch because I didn't specify a commit-ish. So let's try this again. We'll do that with commit-ish. And oh, sorry, you can't. Yeah, you can still see that. Commit-ish, and we're going to use. Let's take a parent so that we know what happened here. Yeah. We're gonna go with. Oh yeah, this will be the base. So this should completely fail because this particular commit doesn't have the makefile. So that'll tell us if the commit-ish part is working. Let's verify that this works. That entered my one-time code again. And that seemed to wait. That actually waited to, and then it failed. So it didn't. Something is failing in the OAuth stuff. So we're going to have to go back and poke around at that today, or maybe. But within the browser, everything worked all right. So. But yeah, I think it uses the commit-ish string, so let's take a look at that. That main was a 385 and ended with 99. See, that's how I check hashes, right? First three and the last three. Anybody else check hashes in any way that's at all more effective than that? 385,989. So we got a release. It's not using the right hash, obviously, because it tried to build the thing. So it's not using our commit-ish for whatever reason. Okay, so that's the first thing to track down. But we are creating releases, which is kind of nice. And it's got our message, which is kind of nice. Alright, and clearly it's building fine, so we can remove this comment of the defer so we don't fill up our temporary directory. All right. So this run function has the order of operations. Parses the gate URL and does some stuff to extract some information from that. Creates a tempter. Clones the repository. I suppose that's the best way, right? It's got to clone it. And that's the problem. I haven't gotten to actually passing that commit-ish value in. So what do we call that? Should just be commit-ish, right? And we're getting to there, yeah. Yep, okay. So commit-ish. So here when we do the clone URL, we need the commit-ish value, which, what, doesn't exist? Oh, too many arguments, right? Commit-ish could be empty, right? So if commit-ish is not empty, we want to go ahead and clone that commit. So what are available clone options here? That should just be a clone. So what we want to do, I guess, after the clone is, yeah, we can do this elsewhere. After the clone, then we can check out the commit-ish. If there's a commit-ish. Right? Where's the run function? I lost it. Right, so let's see. We'll do this. That's not true anymore. There we go. Syntax error. There's always a syntax error. That's fine, you know. It's exactly what this stream is about. There might be making mistakes, might be making syntax errors. Doesn't matter how long you've been in a business. It's okay. You can make mistakes. Nothing is perfect. Alright, we're doing post-clone validation. Okay, now if commit-ish is not, we want to clone, or we want to check out that commit. Oops. Yeah, caps lock keys are no joke when you got a lot of key commands. So we're using the Git repository type object. There's got to be a way to do commits or checkouts from there. So let's look that up. Go get v5. That's what we're looking for. Not v4. All right. We've got clone, plain clones. In memory clone. Here we go. Check out example. URL directory commit. Okay, we've got that. Do a plain clone. What is this work tree? Checking out to a commit. Okay, that would be the commit-ish, I guess. Let's look at the docs for this. Let's see what a commit is. Checkout options. Does anything in here have a commit-ish? So maybe commit-ish is not quite so helpful. They must not be using the same terms. I wonder if it'll work though. Will commit-ish work? I sure hope so. Alright, so what we want to do is check out. I wonder if there's a clone. There's clone options for checking out a specific commit. Let's see, clone ops, URL, auth, the remote name. Did that just break the, it did. I don't know why it keeps swapping back to that other window. Maybe I should just go ahead and move that into that other window. How about that? That'll be easier enough. Easy enough. There you go. So, is there a clone option to clone directly? No checkout ahead. Oh, that's helpful. No checkout. Should look at the tag mode. Oh, we should do single branch too. I guess we can't do depth though, right? Because there's not a way to specify that specific commit-ish. All right, well let's change that. We can add those two options anyway. No, that's not. We gotta switch the browser there. Gotta be a better way. All right. So we have in our clone ops anyway. We can add some more options. Here we go. At the moment we got just progress. The URL, the auth. We want to go ahead and say single branch true. That should make that faster. I mean, not much faster with the test example, but it should make it faster for a big repository. And let's see. I guess we need to provide the branch to the clone, right? Let's look back at the, what is this plumbing.reference name? So will that work with like a different branch? Let's go ahead and create a branch in our test repo and see. Oh, this is a perfect opportunity. We'll create a main branch. Let's go to hide this. Cool. Unfortunately, we need to leave the... Well, I guess we don't need to leave the master branch. Let's go take a look back here. Should have the main branch. Excellent. Headphones cut out there for some reason. Okay, and we can change the default. Oh, come on. I just want to change it. Switch to another branch. There we go. Cool. Alright, so now the main branch should be our main branch. And we're going to go ahead and create another branch temporarily. Okay, we got a test branch now. We can get rid of this branch. Excellent. We have main and test branch. So let's see what happens with our clone now. It should clone main, right? Clone from main. Actually, that's exactly what will happen. It's going to clone from main, but I need to be able to provide a branch, so we'll move back to that. Real quick, I'm going to create a new scene in OBS so that we can swap back and forth to the browser. There we go. Let's see what happens. Browser. No browser. Browser. No browser. Nice. Fancy, right? Fancy. Alright. Now I need to get it to use the correct browser, but that's fine. That's fine. So now if we run this, we should be able to specify a branch, and it's going to run against main. So up here, in the clone ops, we need to add a reference name, which I guess would be refs heads branch name, maybe branch name. So let's see if we can just take branch name as an argument. So say that's probably an expected behavior, possibly. Cannot use branch variable of type string as plumbing.referenceName value in struct literal. Except plumbing.referenceName is a string. What does that mean? Cannot use branch variable of type string as plumbing.reference name. However, plumbing.reference name is a string. It's got to be plumbing dot reference name. It's a type. Plumbing dot reference name. There's a function, new reference name. And that returns a reference name describing a branch based on this short name. So I can say if branch is that, branch is equal to head, and new branch reference name branch. And then I should be able to check out reference name. Undeclared. That's not true. Right. Duh. Because this is Go, not Python. There we go. Okay. Alright, so that should take a branch. Now over here we need to pass it a branch. The branch might be empty. Let's see if that's the case. See if that's the case way up here. Alright, so if we run this, we should get a empty branch name. Yes, so no branch name. And if we said like branch I think it's just branch, right? Yeah. Dash B or branch main. Great, so we got the branch name. So let's see if we can actually check out the right branch here. If there's a branch. Where am I even looking? Yep. So let's go ahead and add something new to the let's add something new to the Git branch. For the test repo. Let's go ahead and break the makefile. How about that? That'll tell us right away. So I'm breaking the makefile on purpose. We're going to go ahead and run this one more time, but we're going to give it the test branch and see if this just completely bombs, huh? Makefile missing separator. Brilliant. So it definitely checked out the correct branch. And if we run this again with main, it's going to go ahead and build a thing before it bombs out. Yes, exactly. So it built it, gave me my one-time code. It should just keep polling. It should just keep polling. But it doesn't. So something is wrong here. I gotta fix this. Alright. So we'll fix that as well. Alright, but we're checking out branches. We're checking out the right branches. Now we need to figure out if we can clone, or check out, sorry, we're cloning the right branches. Now we need to see if we can check out the correct commit issues. So, within the browser, let's see if we can figure out how to do that. All right. That, I assume, creates the hash out of a string, so that'll be good to know. Sorry, there's a new hash. So we're going to need that, I assume. This is all, I'm in the plumbing section, right? Probably need to move back up. Yeah, there we go. Checkout options. Oh, I like the validate. Oh, we got clone options validate too. Let's go ahead and add that while we're still here. Make sure that we can validate the options. So let's see. What was it called? Clone options. Clone options.validate, and it returns an error. Okay. Yes. So we can say cloneops.validate. What am I doing with other errors? I'm returning the error. Yep. Here, let's copy that. I think that's good. we call it? It's a reference name type. Right, so we're converting that into a reference name, using the reference name, checking that the options are good, cloning it. What are the options? Is bare. We don't want to do is bare. Passing the clone options. Okay. Yeah, so let's go back and that's good. We need to figure out how we are how to check out something. Checkout options are probably used in something. Let's see. What might they be used in? Worktree checkout, which makes sense. We had to create the worktree, I suppose, from the whatever. However, I'm not sure how this works. What's the difference between a clone and a plain clone? I don't know that I understand that. Clone a repository into the given store and worktree file system with the given options. If worktree is nil, a bare repository is created. As opposed to plain clone. Plain clone a repository into the path with the given options. Is bare defines if the new repository will be bare or normal. If the path is not empty, repository already exists is returned. Yeah, so I think plain clone is what we want here. We should be getting, yeah, we're getting a repository back. Repository is really just a store. Yeah, let's get storage. So that's part of the Git repo. Store module. Alright, so where were the examples? They had an example, I believe. Alright. Yeah, that just clones it. And this is with authentication, yeah. So we need example. We need an example. You're not seeing the right. I don't understand why this keeps swapping back and forth. You're seeing the wrong stream or the wrong browser. There you go. Apologies. All that work, and you're seeing the wrong browser. Okay. So we got to figure out how to check out a hash. So let's see. There's got to be something that has checkout mentioned here, other than checkout options. something is going to take the checkout options. It's going to be work tree, checkout, and that's basically it. Checkout switches branches or restores working tree files. So I assume if there's a committer specified, maybe we could use that instead of the branch name. Let's see if that fails, huh? Just try it. Try to use the committish as the branch. Yeah. That's not how that works. I need to know more about how Git works, I think. Commit-ish, a commit object or an object that can be recursively dereferenced to a commit object. So commits, tag objects that point to commits, or a tag that points to a tag that points to a commit. An object which contains information about a particular revision, such as parents, committer, author, date, yeah. So that all makes sense. Git checkout tag. So that's the path if it's a tag. And Git checkout. So if it's a tag, path is tags. Yeah, let me write this down. If it's a tag, nope, I was wrong. Here's our reference name. Okay. And if a branch, it's something like, what was it? Where's the reference name? Refs, heads, and then the branch. Or just the short name. And how to check out a commit. Just give me the right syntax. Yeah, so just get checkout and the commit name. Detached head. Alright, bad time for the vacuum to come on. Hold on. Okay, it's not the vacuum, it's the neighbor outside. Bad time for that as well. Alright. So how do we check out a commit using this? Let's see. What reference names are there? Let's see. We've got I guess maybe a hash. We could just check out a hash. A new hash reference. What would be the reference name there? The reference name that we're already providing. The new reference from strings. New hash reference. So this would be the branch name and the commit. So yeah, I guess that makes sense. If you have a commit, you need it to be in a branch, right? Name and a target. That's just, what kind of target? I don't understand. I don't understand. Okay, so there's a couple of different kind of references. There's tag reference, hash reference, I suppose remote reference. Note reference. So how do we do this? We would have it, suppose we would have if it's a commit-ish, we would create a new branch from a hash, or new reference from hash. New hash reference. That requires a reference name though. Sure, I follow here. Okay. What's the difference between a reference and a reference name? I'm getting like full on into Git plumbing, farther than I have before anyway. What's the difference between a reference and a reference? A reference is a representation of a Git reference, and a reference name references Yes, awesome. Awesome. All right, let's see if maybe I can search then. Go get checkout commit. Maybe. So this guy might be able to point us to how he's actually doing this. Who's this? Mitchell Hashimoto. Whoever you are, you may be helping us out. So he's getting the work tree, I guess. Tree.checkout with checkout options. All right, let's I suppose. I guess let's just look at the checkout options because that might be the way we do it. All right. Hash is the hash of the commit to be checked out. If used, head will be in detached mode. Well, that's it right there, I think. If create is not used, branch and hash are mutually exclusive, which is just fine. All right, so let's see if we can do this then. So basically, if we have a branch, then we just want to get head from the branch. If we have a commit, we just want to get the commit. If we have nothing, we just want to get head. And I suppose we need to go ahead and work with tag. Well, no, because this whole thing is just to create a tag. Well, we're creating releases too. We've already created the tag at this point, right? Yep. So really we need to be doing all this within create tag and then pass in a tag. But we haven't, oh no, we haven't already created the tag, so. But we do need to have the cloned repo already. Alright, so we're just going to clone, we're going to remove the branch from clone repo. I don't know if that's the way I want it. What is the right way to do this? What is the right way to do this? Git clone, git checkout. So I gotta clone the repository. I could clone a specific branch. But since I gotta clone the repository anyway for a commit-ish, suppose we would make branch and commit-ish mutually exclusive in our options. Okay, so we need to make branch and commit-ish mutually exclusive. We do that in to-dos. So we can do that. If they are mutually exclusive, then if there is a branch, I can clone directly into the branch. Otherwise, we check out head. And if there's not a branch, we'll just have a empty string. That's fine. And then within create tag, we need the commit-ish. Oh man, that audio and the song there sounded a little too real. I thought there was somebody right over my shoulder. So we want to create the tag. If a commit-ish is provided, all right. And at the moment we check and see, oh, you can't see. At the moment we check and see if the tag exists, and if so, it just continues on using that. Let's see what we're doing with that. looks like if we if the tag already exists, we just write over it. Which I suppose is fine. Okay. Alright, so yeah, if there's a commit-ish, we don't want to do it here. We've already got the repository. We'll pass in the repository in the state. That it exists. I guess we can say the same thing with branch. If there is a branch, we'll just go ahead and do it, and then if there's a commit-ish, we'll go ahead and get that as well. So, back to the example. If there is a commit-ish, I suppose we've got a work tree. That should be the state of that repo. So if let's see, if I've got a repo, if I check out a branch or a commit-ish in the work tree, then pass the repo object in, has that changed? So let's see. We'll try a new function. Alright, so let's see, we've got a checkout commit-ish. What is this error for? We don't have a commit-ish, do we? We should have a commit-ish. Hey, Max Fixer. I'm trying to code something that checks out. We're creating a CLI application that should take a commit hash or a branch and clone that repository, create a tag that's provided to this CLI application, create that tag in the repository, build the binary artifacts associated with whatever that commit is, and create a release from that tag with those artifacts. At the moment, I'm trying to figure out. I've been doing Go for just a little while, and hey, Mr. Touchstreak, yes, again, not DF. This is doing another programming session. Yeah, so I'm somewhat new to Go, and I'm really new to GoGet v5. So I'm trying to figure out how to do all this, like how to get the checkout, or how to check out the commit, commitish value, and pass that in. I've got a bunch of stuff working. It's going well. Just you know. Hey, thanks, Mr. Touchstreak. It's good to see you. I enjoyed your stream earlier today. Yeah, I am trying to do some CI automation stuff. We have at work we have a bunch of different repositories, and we want to try to automate building the binaries and creating the releases for all of those. So I'm trying to make a project agnostic CLI tool that we can toss in to do that with. The idea is each of our projects uses makefiles pretty well, and so what I want to do is just take a makefile target to create those binaries, and then whatever's created is the artifact, right? Or it could be not binaries, it could be docs or whatever. Anything that's created in a particular directory, those will be the artifacts that are uploaded. And so it should be language agnostic, like any project that has a makefile and produces output and is in a GitHub repository should be able to make use of this. So we shall see. Hopefully it's useful. Yeah, thanks, man. So let's see, where was I? I was looking at commitish. We should have a value for commitish. We're accepting one. I mean, I know there's one up here, right? Commitish, there's commitish. And I spelled it wrong, maybe. Let's take a look. I think you guys all see the, yeah, commitish. How does Git spell commitish? Git commitish. Git commit-ish. One single T. Commit-ish. Yeah, okay. I shouldn't have two T's. That's the problem. And I didn't have two T's when I wrote the front end of it, and now I'm trying to work on the back end and I'm spelling it wrong. There's a single commit-ish, which makes sense. Let's see if I've spelled that wrong anywhere else. Yeah, so check out commitish down here. But that should be it. Okay. Alright, so this should take the repo and the commit string, and what we want to do is something like this gentleman did. I think we need to check out the work tree, check out a commit, not with branch, but with the commit option, or the yeah, commit option, checkout option. So would be something like trying to get stuff out of the way here. There we go. Say tree air work tree, and yeah, tree is declared but not used. That's fine. If air nil, then we'll say air tree.checkout. Commit options, no, checkout options. We need to specify the checkout options. Let's see. These will be the checkout options here. let's see. So we got checkout options, and we need those checkout options. Let's see what they are. Looks like my browser has switched back again. Give me just a second. Yeah, looks like OBS keeps wanting to switch this browser window from one window to another. There we go. Let's see, so the checkout options are here. So we got a hash, which should just be, plumbing.hash. We can create a hash from a string if we've got a commit-ish, which is fine. And if we have a commit-ish, then the branch is mutually exclusive, as long as create is not used. Yeah, so we're going to say just the hash. We will ignore the branch aspect. So I think we can say for the hash, we can create a new hash. I think returns. We need to make a new hash from a string, I think. New hash from a string returns the hash, which should fulfill the checkout option. Okay, so what we need to do is here is say hash is equal to new hash from commit-ish. Spelling commit-ish correctly this time. So we got a new hash. I think it's what, plumbing.newhash. Yep, plumbing.newhash, and then we can say, go back to the checkout options. Where's the checkout options? Yep. So hash is that hash. So. Hash. And I think because, yeah, we're not using bool or create. We're not using create so that we don't have to worry about the branch. This should check out the correct commit. So let's see. We'll say there was like a validate. What was the validate? Yeah, so this, for the folks who aren't here from the beginning, this series is all about showing that you're still learning and trying to figure things out and maybe failing and getting back on the horse and trying again, and it's okay to do it all in public. You don't have to be polished or perfect, and this is a perfect example of this. I'm spending more time looking at the docs online here with you all than I am actually programming anything, so I'm going to continue doing that. I'm going to be looking at the docs here, trying to figure out what I'm trying to do. So there's clone options, validate. There we go. Checkout options, validate. Yeah, thanks, Max Fixer. That's exactly right. It is part of looking at the docs is part of programming. What I kind of felt, or at least what I'm trying to solve here is, you know, if you go online on the Twitter and watch presentations at conferences and stuff, everything looks perfect, right? Everything looks like it's perfectly polished. Everybody is insanely smart, and they don't ever show you the aspect where you're sitting there staring at the docs for 5 minutes or 10 minutes or an hour, or I'm an hour and 45 minutes into the stream and I've written maybe 10 lines of code. So I wanted to get that out there. Just be like, for the people who are new or the people who feel like they're not measuring up to the shiny and polish that's out online. Not that there's anything wrong with those folks that are doing that, but for the other folks that feel maybe like they don't measure up, this is an example of what somebody who's been in IT for 20 years, almost 20 years, does all day long for my day job. Look at documentation and write a handful of lines of code. And, you know, that's what this practically programming is about. So we're practically pro. Maybe not quite there yet. Or we are, but, you know, still working at it. Learning every day. So yeah, so now I should be able to say checkout ops validate. Yep. Excellent. See, this is new though. I just a little while ago, I didn't know that thing existed, and now I wrote it like it was nothing. Alright, so we're going to validate the options, we're going to do the checkout, and I think, I'm not positive if this is how Go works. If I do the checkout on the tree, that's the tree that's part of the repository, right? It's a pointer to the work tree, which is a pointer within the repository. I can return that repository. It should have the checked out branch or commit. So I think this will do it. I think this will do it. So let's go up here and see what happens. We have this commit down here. Oh, sorry, I didn't. Let me show you the code I was actually working on. I am having a whole lot of trouble switching back and forth between the browser and the VS Code. All right, so what we're doing is we're taking the Git repository and the commit string, checking out the work tree, or getting the work tree, creating a new hash from the commit string, a new hash type, plumbing.hash. The checkout options we're passing in are going to be the hash, validating the options, and then doing the checkout of that hash from that tree. And because these are all pointers, I should be able to return the repository. And right here, where I'm doing this, the repo should now magically be, not magically, but programmatically, I guess, be the repository with the correct checked out commit. And I should be able to verify that. Because this commit down here is the original commit for that repository and does not have a makefile. So if we look back at this test repository, because it doesn't have a makefile, where's my test repository? Let's see. Yeah, like way back, the parent is this 38599 something 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 9D9, and that's what we're checking out down here. That has nothing. That's just a README and some Go. So if this is working, then the build should fail when I pass in that commit. And it doesn't matter if I pass in a branch or not, because we're using the checkout of the commit. So I don't know what the deal is with my headphones. They've been turning themselves off all day long. I think it's time to get a new microphone and a better set of headphones. Alright, so let's try running this. We don't need the branch name. And it should fail. Everything should fail. We're expecting that. It's doing the clone. No, I have a mistake up here somewhere. Can't clone, can't find remote repository, remote ref's heads ref. Okay. So that's part of our checkout. If we don't have yeah. So that's a bug on our clone here. So let's see. So if there's no branch specified, maybe we just do maybe we don't use a reference name. I think we can change that. We can do this. This is going to be an else statement, I think. Does that work? Let's see if that works. I don't think that's the right way to do that. Perhaps something else. Let's see. I guess if we have a reference name, we can add it to the clone options. So if branch is not equal to this, let's say and oh, I gotta remind myself how to do this. How do I add something to CloneOps? Oh, see, this is where being new to Go is gonna get me. Oh, you know what? I've had the frickin' browser window up again. This is exactly the non-polished stuff that I've been talking about. All right. How do you add to a map? How do you add to a map? I just can't recall off the top of my head. There we go. Yes, so I should be able to. Clone ops. Do that. Possibly. This is a typo. Well, this is used right there. That doesn't have to be. Yeah, I'm doing something wrong here. That must not be a map. It's not, it's a struct, isn't it? Let's see. Set struct value. I don't know why I can't remember how to do this off the top of my head. This is going to be super so I'm going to feel stupid as soon as I figure out how to do this. I know I've done it before. That's right there, isn't it? Right there. Duh. Duh. Okay. But that's exactly what this program is about. That's exactly it. So there we go. Duh. So I've done this I don't know how many times, and I couldn't quite remember how to do that. My brain went the wrong way, as it does sometimes. I think the more comfortable I get with Go, I think the better this will work. But let's try this again. All right. So what we're saying now is. if the branch is not nil, create a reference name from the branch string name, branch string variable, and then set the reference name in cloneops right here to the reference name. Otherwise, cloneops doesn't have a reference name and it clones the head. So that should work now. Or crash. There we go. Oh. Interesting. So GitHub allows you to have a different default branch, but it looks like Go Git v5 assumes the default branch is always master, and that's not what we're using at the moment. So it worked when everything was master. It's currently not working, so couldn't find remote ref's heads master. So let's see. We can check that. We can say if we get that error, couldn't find remote ref heads master. I don't know. Is there a way to see what the you're seeing my default browser again? That is frustrating. That's really frustrating. Okay. Let's see. Let's see if there's a way to get the default branch name from the repository object. So I guess we got to back up. We don't want plumbing. We want the v5 docs. Yeah. And let's see, we want the type repository. And the repository type repository methods are clone, init open plain clone context, plain open, branch stuff, commit stuff, maybe config. Okay, those are the types of things for repository. Let's see, what else? Let's see what's inside the repository type. Just the store, it looks like. Okay, how about repository commit objects? Those are just the commits. Let's see. Git config. There's got to be a way to get some info out of this repository. Maybe it just says default values. those are the clone options. Remote branch to clone. It doesn't say anything about, let's see if, there we go. Plumbing.hash, if branch and hash are empty, it's set to master. Well, that's in the checkout options, we're not doing that. That's the only place it's specified, so I suppose there's not a way to fix this unless we can read the remote. Let's see, there's a bunch of stuff for remote, so let's see. Remote fetch. That gives us a remote. So I suppose we could fetch the remote, list the references, and see what shows up there. Can we list the remote from the repository? This seriously is just all documentation today. So for the repository, we can fetch. We could fetch. That might work. Oh, there we go. We can use the repository to get the remote. And use that to list the references, I guess. Okay, let's try that. Well, I guess we don't have a repository yet at that point. Oh man. Yeah, I guess there's not an easy way to fix this at the moment. Let's add that to the to-do list. Alright, let's look at the remote stuff again. Yeah, I think we just have to manually override it if it's not at the moment. So let's see. Say branch master. Sorry, branch main. Okay, that did not check out the commit that I thought it was going to do. So let's see, what exactly is happening here? It's checking out the branch when it clones it. Sorry. Yeah, it's checking out the branch when it clones it here. And then attempting to check out the commit-ish. That doesn't seem to happen. So let's see if we can get some info about the repository. Let's see. I suppose these are all just so that, yeah. I don't think this is doing what I think it's doing. Hey, Darren. Thanks for following. I appreciate it. And Jared an hour ago. Thanks for following. How's it going, folks? I hope everybody's doing alright tonight. I'm trying to figure out why I can't check out this commit. Good, I'm glad it's going well. Thanks for coming to hang out. It's good to see you, Darren. I suppose I should refer to you as DM Lund during the stream, because other people may not know who you are and you may not want them to. I didn't mean to dox you on my stream here. Yeah, we're trying to figure out why we can't check out this commit. We should be able to take a commit-ish string. We get the tree from the repository, we get a new hash from the commit-ish. Check out the hash. Right? That commit. And I think, unless I misunderstand how this works, that the repository now has the commit checked out, and I can return the repository. But I need to figure out some way to validate, because it clearly did not do that when I did the build just now. So, there's got to be some function here for me to Let's see what commit is currently being pointed to. Some repository function. We've got our method, right? So clone context init open plain clone context plain init plain open. I need something to give me the commit. Oh, here we go. No, this may not be it. That just returns a commit object. You can't see my browser. There we go. That's the wrong browser. Right. Here's what I'm looking at. So this method should return a commit object. So I think that's the problem. Well, no, that's not true, because cutting back over here, checkout hash is expecting a hash, not a commit object. We should be checking out that hash. So how do we validate that we have done that? Oh, you know what would help is checking that error and seeing if there's something actually failing. That would help. That would probably help a whole lot, instead of just swallowing up any kind of failure. Let's try that again. No, it built again. Should not have built. That hash doesn't have a makefile, so that couldn't have worked. So we're clearly not checking out the right thing. But we're not getting an error. Alright, let's check the tree, I guess. Tree. Tree.commit. Creates a commit. Tree dot. Let's look at the docs. That's probably easier. Let's see. Tree dot. Status submodule. That's not. Yeah, that's not what we need. We need the. Yep. Headphones died, and what's going on here? Oh, song ended. I thought the audio died, but it's just the end of the song. If this is obvious to anybody else out there, feel free to let me know. I don't mind any backseat helpers today. Here. Oh, Dr. Phineas, I'm glad you're still here. I appreciate it. You know what? I'm going to do the repository log. I'm just going to print that and then I'm going to bail out. And we can use that as a good indicator. So right after checkout commitish, we'll do repo.log, I guess. Wait. Takes log ops. Yeah, we'll just let's just give it empty log ops. How about that? And let's just see what we'll just see what happens. We're gonna roll with this, and log. Well, that's not going to work. There we go. And then I should declare that. There we go. All right, let's see what happens here. This at least will be confirmation that we're getting something. Yeah, see, this is that's the last commit from the main branch. So we're definitely not returning the commit here. Oh, but we're also not, see, look at that. I've been bad about bubbling up errors if there are any. I did it in the very last thing. That same, inside the commit, or checkout commitish function, I did the same problem there. I did not return any errors that showed up, so let's see if we get an error this time. Hey, there we go. Branch and hash are mutually exclusive, but I'm not providing a branch. Swallowing errors gives your app indigestion. Yeah, no kidding. Clearly, I mean, it was definitely throwing up all over my console. Alright, so I think we're tracking something down here. We're actually looking at logs that are coming back out of this function. This says we can't use the branch and the hash at the same time. So apparently we are passing a branch. Let's do this. Let's see what it is we're actually... It's at the very least easier to read than Java, that's for sure. All right. So we're printing the checkout options, because the checkout options, I think, are what's telling it to use the branch and the commit hash. So clearly we're passing the hash in, but we shouldn't be passing a branch in. So it must have a default set somewhere, or because we're passing in branch to my function here, perhaps we're checking out the repo. Where's the run? Where we do the clone with the branch, but then try to do a commit check out of the repo. That branch is already set, possibly. Let's see what we get back. Oh, we wanted to exit though. After we print that, we're going to do exit. And I'm going to change this music real quick because this is creeping me out. That's a little bit more upbeat. Okay. Let's see what we get now, huh? I think I need to dereference this. Yes. Well, that was not helpful. So we're getting a hash, and we're getting false for literally everything else. So there shouldn't be... It's not a branch being set. So do I need to override and just say there's no branch? What if I say the branch is nil? Let's look at that object again, huh? The branch is a plumbing.reference name. Well, what does a nil plumbing.reference name look like? It's a string. So clearly there's a branch somewhere. So we can say new branch reference name and then nothing. Because if there is a commit, we don't want to use the branch, so we can override the branch maybe with new branch reference name. Oh, but this is a function that returns... Does it return an error? It does not return an error, it just returns a reference name. So we can say branch is a new empty branch name. All right. All right, let's see what happens. Branch and hash are mutually exclusive. Well, yes. I mean, you've made that clear. But what am I doing wrong here? Alright, so checkout options. Hash is the hash of the commit to be checked out. Yes. If used, head will be in a detached mode. Yes. If create is not used, branch and hash are mutually exclusive. Yes. Branch to be checked out. If branch and hash are empty, is set to master. Yeah, so nothing else really works there, and we're not providing the branch, and in fact we're setting it to nil, or an empty string, right? Yeah, so this type is a string, so empty string should be fine. Yeah, so it should be, I would think that it should be fine not having branch specified. Like there's no branch there. What is commitish? Commitish is a commit-like object. So it can be a commit, it can be a tag that references a commit, or it can be a tag that references a tag that references a commit, and so on and so forth. So it doesn't have to be just a commit hash. And I want to be able to check out commits or tags, and so I started writing with commitish, even though right now I'm just dealing with commit. Okay, so it must have the branch from when the thing is cloned. Which doesn't make a whole lot of sense because there would be like the master branch if you cloned it without specifying a branch. But since I don't have a master branch, I'm using main, and this thing doesn't check out anything other than the branch. Maybe I can tell it to check out the head. That might work. That might solve the problem with the branch too, and allow me to keep the mutual exclusivity. Right, so here's clone repo. That might be the problem. Well, certainly single branch is not helpful unless I'm checking out an individual branch. So there's no point in putting it in the clone options. The branch is not equal to an empty string. I'm checking out the branch, right? Otherwise, we're just cloning. Let's try this, else. I think that's a variable, right? That's what we saw with the documentation. It's got a constant head of type reference name is head. So yes, I think that's, unless I'm completely wrong, I think that's what this is going to do. Alright, let's try it. Let's see if it just checks out head. Well, cool. That seemed to work in terms of checking out the main branch, the default branch, rather than trying to check out master, which is good. Alright, so we've cloned a branch. How do we unset that then, I guess? We've solved one problem, but it didn't solve the other. How do we unset the branch? Missed like half of the characters in this. There we go. Oh, that's gonna fail. Yeah. So this should be nothing, right? There's no branch specified. What is the tree? It's just a file system. Repository, get ignore. Yeah. So what's the work tree? Oh, that's what I was just looking at. File system and the repository. Maybe this needs to be just a reference name. New what's a nil branch? Do we have a nil branch? Okay, no type branch. But we're still in plumbing. Yeah, no type of branch. Alright, let's do some Googling. Maybe somebody's figured out how to do this. Go get v5, check out. I mean, it looks like this. Yeah, I suppose we should do a plain clone. And then fetch information if there's a branch. Yeah, alright, let's try this. We can at least validate that, right? We could do a plain clone without the branch. Let's see if that works. No, same deal. Branch and hash mutually exclusive. So something about the way that I'm doing it is not correct, because it definitely doesn't have a branch at that point. Right, I haven't given it a branch. It doesn't have one cloned, so that was a red herring. So let's see. That was a red herring. I don't understand where the branch information is coming from here then. We are cloning the repository. It's got no branch information, like it's unused. Hash is not empty, right? Yeah. Hash is not empty. I mean, and that's what's being used as the plumbing.hash down here. I'm not trying to create a branch, I'm just trying to check out. Oh, sorry, you guys see the browser again. I'm not trying to create a hash, I'm just trying to check out the. Sorry, I'm not trying to create a branch, I'm just trying to check out the hash into a detached head, which should be possible according to this. I guess I'll throw the docs back up. Hey, what's going on, J-Man guy? How are you? It's been a little while. I hadn't seen you since, well, like probably a year now. All this stuff going on. How you been? Yeah, it really has, man. Hawaii's good. Hawaii's good. It's pretty much everything we were hoping it was going to be. It's every Friday afternoon we go to the beach for a little while. Take the dogs to the beach in the evenings sometimes. And it's not freezing cold like it is for most of the states right now, so we're doing all right. I hope Raleigh is treating you well. Yeah, so we're trying to it's 32 and raining in Myrtle, huh? Oh man, that's rough. It's just like that side of snowing too, right? Yeah, yeah. About this time of the year in North Carolina, I was ready to be done with winter. That's for sure. Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out how to use the Go Get V5 module to check out a specific Git commit hash, but this this checkout function doesn't seem to be doing what I think it's doing, because it's expecting these checkout options. I think you are seeing the browser window. It's expecting these checkout options. Which would be, I guess you don't see the overlay. Oh yeah, there you go. The hash of type plumbing.hash or a branch of type plumbing.reference name, and they are mutually exclusive. And I'm giving it checkout options with just the hash, and it's, when I try to check it out, I'm still getting branch and hash are mutually exclusive, and I'm not quite sure why. We have tried to set the branch to nil or an empty string. And that's not right, is it? Is it not plumbing? I don't recall what package that was. Yeah, that is plumbing. Plumbing.new branch reference name. Oh, alright, I don't have the name. That's what it is. Alright, so either setting it to an empty string or just not setting it at all ends up with this error. I'm not quite sure why. Wait. that's this. There we go. We definitely have the hash. We're providing that. We're basically not providing a branch name, but we're getting exclusivity warnings. So something in this is not working right. Okay, create is not set, so we're not doing that. Get commit from checkout options should be working all right. Well, where is this coming from? If ops.hash is 0, if ops.hash is not 0, Darren says, can I do h_air in r.head? h_air equals r.head. And you mean out here in the checkout commit-ish? That would be the repository head that you're looking for? Like h_air repo.head. Yeah, let's see what happens. So this would be the head. The head of the repo for the reference. So we maybe put the, you're saying put the branch should be the head. That. Yeah, I don't think so. That's, well, not in this case, because it's not the right, it's the actual plumbing, it's like a plumbing.reference instead of a plumbing.reference name. So that doesn't work for that. But we're trying to get a detached head, I guess. That, maybe we can get this to be head dot, what is it, like name? Head dot name. So maybe we tell it that. Yeah, let's see if it'll do it. Yeah, that's what I'm, oh, thanks, Darren. Let me take a look at that. Yeah, Jonathan, that's what I'm thinking as well. The, one or the other. However, for whatever reason, when I tried to, try to remove the branch entirely, like there's nothing else in the options there, we still get the error. So something is providing a branch name, or it thinks something is providing a branch name. Right. So at the moment we don't have any branch name. And we get the same error. They're mutually exclusive. So yeah, try and see if what Darren said. Maybe we just use head. Yeah, I'm guessing maybe that's probably what's going on. Let me try what Darren said here real quick. Yeah, same thing. All right. I think that's what's going on. It sort of implies in the documentation here that if the branch reference name right, so if the branch and the hash are empty, it implies that it sets it to master, right? Which I think that's what's going on. But the hash is not empty. The hash is filled. Like, we know it's filled. And that's where we're getting the exclusion or the exclusivity error. So it might be trying to set the name anyway. But if I print the values, if I print those, I don't see, sorry Darren, I'm going to get to the Stack Overflow thing in a sec. If I just print the checkout options, all we get is the hash. That's it. Everything else is set to, that's just the other options being set to false. So that would be, you can't see that. Right, so if you, here, we set the checkout options with only hash, and then we print the checkout options. You can see it's just the hash, and then the other three values are set to false. Those other three values being create, force, and keep. There's no branch information, but we still get the exclusive error. Darren says, it seems like from that link that you get the head, then you check out, and then get the ref from the head again. So let me take a look at the Stack Overflow. We'll see. All right. They do the plain clone. They retrieve head. Then check out the work tree. Then check out to commit. Does that mean... Let me look back at this. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm trying to do. Okay, yeah, let's see. Let's see if that works. Yeah, we've got... what time is it? It is 4:56 p.m. here in Hawaii. I have about 4 more minutes. So this is our this is the last ditch effort for the evening. Last ditch effort. We can do this. We can do this. All right. So we got the head. We're going to check out the head. Right? And okay, that was, we checked out the work tree up here. So they have you check out the head. Right? And then check out the work tree. And then they say check out the options. So the work tree is the W, so yeah, so tree.checkout. checkout options. Checkout options being hash with plumbing.newHash. That's this here, pointing to our specific commit. And then we retrieve the hash again just to check and see if that worked. So we'll say ref error equals the new head. I named head ahead. Or no, it's repo.head. Repo.head. And then and this is not being assigned. Okay. And head is being used but not declared. Let's go ahead and we'll just do the same thing. Actually, is head being used? Ref is really not being used anywhere in the example. Do this ref.hash. I suppose this isn't actually being used anywhere. So let's see. Okay. You're right. Good call, J-Man guy. I do want the slashes in the ends. All the slashes, all the ends. Any other prints? I don't think I have any other prints. Okay. Get and respond to an error from checkout. Okay, yeah, I did that. Okay, cool. Let's see what happens. Same thing, mutually exclusive. And then mutually exclusive. We're actually getting two mutually exclusive errors. Oh, okay. This is that being bubbled up, yeah. So we're still having some trouble. Let's see. See if we can identify which one of these is freaking out. Check line 313, is that the right way to get it? Here, the tree, getting the work tree. Yeah, I think that's correct for the work tree. The hash equals line. Here. Yeah, so this is setting the value of the hash to this type of it's called plumbing.newHash type for the string that we've put in. So that's fine. Yeah. And we're taking that hash and we're passing it in here to the checkout options. Yeah, it's bombing out right here. It does not like the checkout. Yeah, I feel like it probably is. We can look at the definition for the checkout. So we pass it the work tree. This is the module code now. Pass it the work tree and the options. If ops.validate is bad, return an error. Okay, so that actually is good to know. They're performing their own validation, so we don't have to throw that in there. And then if ops.create, then we create a branch. But we don't have ops.create. If well, where's that coming from? Oh, they're setting, okay. Get commit from checkout options. So let's take a look at that. If ops.hash is not 0, then return the hash, right? So immediately it comes back. Ops.hash is definitely not 0. We've got a string. Neat, okay. Yeah, so that it should be coming right back. Ops.hash is just the hash that we've provided, so and then reset the options. Commit is equal to what we've provided. The mode ops.force hard reset, otherwise it's soft reset. Okay. We don't have that set. If ops.hash is not 0 and ops.create is not set, then error equals set head to commit. I don't that might be the way to do it, right? New example, let's take a look at this. Alright, so yeah, this is the example from the package, right? Yeah, okay. I think I saw this. Right, so they're cloning it, checking if there's an error. Ref error is equal to r.head. Check out the work tree. Plumbing.newHash. I swear, I think that's exactly what we're doing. Ref error equals r.head. Let's go ahead and I'll rewrite it straight up from this. And then this has got to be the last thing. This needs to be the last try, the last try. Till next week, because I'm going to do this twice a week. And all right, so I definitely wasn't doing anything with ref here. Right. And then we check out the work tree, just like them. Right? And then we got a new commit. Plumbing.newHash. So we'll go ahead and do it this way. Just like they did. We're going to do the whole thing exactly like they did. In case maybe there's a typo, or maybe I failed to dereference a pointer. Right, that's exactly like they did it. Check if there's an error. Get the ref for head. Print the hash. All right, if this works, I don't know why it works, but fingers crossed. Well, if anybody can tell me why that worked and what I was doing wasn't working, I would really appreciate it. Yeah, it sure did, didn't it? Maybe I have a sneaking suspicion that maybe I wasn't dereferencing the get checkout options correctly, but I'm not positive. I'm not positive. However, it is working now. So thank you very much, JMain Guy and DM London. I really appreciate your help in troubleshooting here. Yeah, and it's about time to end the stream. Thank you everybody who showed up and hung out for a little bit. I appreciate you hanging out with me, and sweet, yeah, thanks. I'm definitely going to do Tuesdays and Thursdays. Dr. Phineas, thank you for staying around, even though this is nothing related to Dwarf Fortress. I appreciate it. I'm going to do this on Tuesdays and Thursdays from pretty much now on, I think. And hopefully this is helpful to some folks. And it's certainly helpful to me to have you folks around and make it interesting. So I will catch you all later. Have a good weekend. And see you again next week. Yeah, thanks, Max Fixer. Good to see you too.